By the spring of 1944, things were looking grim for Nazi Germany. Already starved of key resources and under severe pressure in the east, the Western Allies were now poised to launch their long-awaited invasion of Western Europe. And yet, Germany's leader, Adolf Hitler, was, despite everything, looking forward to D-Day. His plan was simple: reinforce the Western defences, launch a furious counterattack, and throw the Allies back into the sea. After that, he could turn his full strength against the Soviet Union and end the war. For Hitler, the outcome of this campaign would be decisive. In the previous episode of our D-Day series, we looked at the air battle for Normandy. This time, we're covering the fighting on land that would make or break the operation. Why were some beaches bloodier than others? Why did German counterattacks fail? And why did it take so long for the Allies to break out into France? To answer those questions, we brought in the help of the Royal Armoury's Jonathan Ferguson to look at some of the most important weapons of D-Day, but more from him later on. This is Lieutenant General Sir Frederick E. Morgan. You might never have heard of him, but in his role as Cossack, it was Morgan who wrote the first plan for Operation Overlord, the Allied invasion of Europe. The Allied landing site would be Normandy, but with a major deception operation to focus German eyes on the Pas de Calais. Airborne forces would secure the flanks, while assault forces would land with Americans on the right and British and Commonwealth forces on the left. In lieu of capturing a major port, Morgan also settled on the ingenious solution of bringing two prefabricated harbours across the Channel to supply an Allied breakout. When Dwight D. Eisenhower was appointed commander of SHAEF and Bernard Montgomery commander of the Allied ground forces in December 1943, the responsibility for Overlord passed to them. But the only major change they made was to increase the strength of the air and seaborne landings. With a wider front, the first target would be Caen, and after that, the port of Cherbourg. After surviving the inevitable German counterattack, Montgomery expected the Germans to retreat to defensive positions on the River Seine within 3 months of the landings. But that did not mean that this campaign would be an easy one. The divisions chosen to carry out the invasion were augmented with extra units. Both the British and Commonwealth and American forces were equipped with duplex drive or DD tanks which would swim to the shore, while the British were further reinforced by more specialist armour.
Rather than engage enemy tanks, the tanks that landed on the beaches were primarily intended to provide fire support for the infantry by suppressing enemy pillboxes and gun positions.